Hello everybody and welcome back to Beards of War. This is the third take, so hopefully I'll get it right this time. We're back once again in 40k Carl's garage for a little bit of garage hammer. So we're going to be using my Iron Warriors versus Carl's sneaky infiltrating Alpha Legion for a refight of Paramar. So for a bit of a break from the norm, my Iron Warriors are going to be loyalists for a change. So 2,000 points, let's see what we've got. So here we have my Iron Warriors, 2,000 points. It's the first Heresy army I did, but bizarrely it's taken this long to get it onto the channel. So what we have, Warsmith at the front here, who's got a boarding shield, thunder hammer, melter bombs. He's going to be joining behind him here, a unit of 20 tactical marines with Sergeant at the front with a power axe, Vexilla, and they've all got additional close combat weapons. And they're going to be jumping into this bad boy here, which is a Spartan with armoured ceramite and flare shield, which, to be fair, I'm sure most players will agree that it should be a standard. Then two more troops choices, 10 men, sergeants with power weapons in rhinos, and this one here has a combi melter on the roof. Over to the shiny things, I've got 3 separate rapier laser destroyers, which, as of the new Crusade Imperialis book, we've got a 48-inch range. I have a unit of 8 Iron Havocs, with the Sergeant there with an augury scanner in the Imperial bunker there, which, because it's got wide fire points, that means all 8 can fire out. It's also got an ammo store, a stock Vindicator, and a bog standard dreadnought with a plasma cannon. And here we have Carl's 2,000 point force of Alpha Legion, led by Praetor. Sorry, Centaurian even, I stand corrected, with artificer armour, power sword, combi melter, and anything else?
No, that's it, it's pretty bare bones.
That's the fella. We have a saboteur here with a combi melter, and you'll see a pattern in a moment. We move over to the tactical squads, a unit of 14 and a unit of 15. Guess what the sergeants are equipped with? Did you get it? Combi melters, one there. No, you're not a sergeant, you are. Combi melter there. Both have got Nuncio Voxes, and more of the theme. A unit of tactical support with melter guns in a rhino. A 5-man Lernian Terminator squad, all with chain fists, and 4 of them have got Volkite chargers, one with a heavy flamer. In the Proteus, which has got heavy bolter, auxiliary drive, and armoured ceramite. Scorpius at the back there, which is stock, I believe.
That's stock, yeah.
Yep. Sky Hunter unit of jet bikes, with Sergeant with a power fist, and a multi-melter. And a affectionately known Neilbane pattern dreadnought, Mortis with twin Keris. I'll explain that one later. And because they're using the right of war called Coils of the Hydra, we have a unit of 5 Dark Furies that have been sequestered. So we have Dawn of War deployment. I won the roll off to deploy first, so my fortification has gone down on the left flank here with the Iron Havocs inside of it, flanked on its left by a unit of tactical marines in a rhino, one with a combi melter, supported by the dreadnought with plasma cannon. Moving along, rapier number 1, rapier number 2, Spartan with a unit of 20 men in with the Warsmith inside, rapier number 3, second rhino with a unit of 10 men inside, and finally the Vindicator on the other flank. And they will be facing off against sneaky infiltrating Alpha Legion, so they're only 18 inches away. We have first unit of tactical marines hiding behind this building, which solid block there, but couldn't go any closer because of the windows. Scorpius in the extreme corner, the melter gun unit in their rhino, not too far away from all my vehicles. The Centaurian sneaking in the corner there, out of line of fire due to the blocking terrain. The Lernians in the Proteus, who are going to be sneaking their way underneath the Sky Shield pad there, heading towards the artillery. And all the way in the far corner, final tactical squad with a Neilbane Contemptor Dreadnought hidden at the back. Now, fittingly, the mission we've rolled today is called War of Lies. Now, what that means is we've deployed 5 objectives. We have objective 1 on top of the Sky Shield landing pad in the middle of the board. Number 2, near my Rhino in the corner there. Number 3 is over here, hidden underneath this Alpha Legion tactical squad. Number 4 is in the building amongst all my fellas. And number 5 is currently unoccupied, just on its own in the middle of the road there. So, primary objectives. We have death toll. At the end of the game, each side gains 1 victory point for each unit they've destroyed or that's falling back at the end of the game. And at the end of the game, roll a d6 on the following table to determine the worth, if any, of each objective controlled by the player at the end of the game. And they can vary from no victory points, you could gain up to 3, or you could lose up to d3. And there's only one secondary objective, and that's Slay the Warlord. We have 6 turns and no night fight. Let's begin. So the first turn is for the Iron Warriors, unless Carl can seize the initiative. So close! Looks like I'm going first then, chaps. Iron Warriors, turn 1 movement phase. The Mark IV Dreadnought's moved forward, lining up its plasma cannon at the Tactical Marines in the building opposite. The Rhino has burnt forward 12 inches. Non-surprisingly, the building hasn't moved, the Iron Havoc's inside. The 2 laser destroyers here, aiming underneath the Sky Shield landing pad. At the Land Raider at the back there, which can also be seen by the Spartan that's moved forward another 6 inches here. Rapier at the end here, can't draw a line of fire too much really from where it is, or can it? Nope, Rhino's out of the way. My Rhino here, moved forward 12 again, just getting into a decent position for objective 5, whilst the Vindicator at the end, it's been a bit sneaky itself, can just make out one guy at the end there. Iron Warriors, turn 1 shooting phase. Dreadnought at the end. His gun overheated, but he managed to vent the plasma before he lost a hull point. The Rhino, which surged forwards, popped its smoke launchers. And a combination here of the Iron Havocs in the bunker, the 2 Rapiers, and one of the sponsons on the Spartan, managed to wreck the Proteus, forcing the Lernian Terminators to get out the side. The other sponson had a cheeky shot all the way over at the Scorpius in the corner here. Took a hull point off and got a stunned result. The Vindicator, bang on target with its Demolisher Cannon, blew apart 3 of the Alpha Legionnaires. Whilst the final Rhino, copying its brother on the other side of the board, also popped smoke. Alpha Legion turn 1 movement phase. The Alpha Legionnaires hold their ground on the objective, hoping that the Contemptor Dreadnought, which has moved sideways, can pop open the Rhino, so they'll be able to Fury the Legion down. The Lernian Terminators, having abandoned the wreck of their Proteus, move further along the road to support them. Whilst over here, the Melter Gun unit has disembarked from the Rhino, aiming at the other Rhino here, supported by the Tactical Marines, hoping to pick off the survivors, whilst the Scorpius is stuck where it is while it's stunned. Alpha Legion turn 1 shooting phase. The Contemptor Dreadnought opened fire with its Keris assault cannons, ripped apart the Rhino here, straight through its smoke. It did nothing. The smoke, it does nothing. Then Fury of the Legion from the Tactical Marines felled 4 at the front, knocked me out of coherency, so they're going to have to move next turn. All the way over here, the Tactical Support Squad opened fire with the Melters, only scoring 2 hits. However, they got an immobilised result and a weapon destroyed result. However, the Marines inside are still okay, which leaves these Tactical Marines in a bit of a predicament. Iron Warriors, turn 2 movement phase. Dreadnought has moved closer towards the tactical marines, supported by his 6 surviving brothers. Again, my fire support stayed still. The Spartan turned on the spot, trying to eye up the Scorpius in the corner there, with a tiny little part of it can see. The marines in the Rhino have stayed in the Rhino, whilst the Vindicator has orientated its demolisher cannon towards the melter gun unit. Iron Warriors, turn 2 shooting phase. And guess what? The plasma cannon overheated, but again, he's used to it now, the amount of times he's done it. He managed to vent the plasma, didn't take a hull point. The marines here move forward and open fire, felling one of the tactical marines. The Iron Havocs did terribly this turn. Shot at the Contemptor in the distance, only took 1 hull point off it. The first Rapier Laser Destroyer also shot at it, did nothing. Second Rapier Destroyer opened fire at the Cataphractii Terminators and did nothing. Over here, the Demolisher Cannon, direct hit on this unit, but as you can probably guess, because they're still here, did nothing. And the Rapier was the only thing that managed to kill 1 of the tactical marines, whilst the Spartan opened fire at the Scorpius, which non-surprisingly passed all its cover saves. So yeah, not a very good shooting phase. Alpha Legion, turn 2 movement phase, and for reserves, the Saboteur has come on, and he's snuck behind my highly effective Dreadnought here, whilst the Dark Furies use their jump packs to move 12 inches closer towards the bunker, remaining out of sight of the 5 points, which would help if you guys could see him. There we go. The Tactical Marines reloading their bolt guns from Fury of the Legion last turn. The Contemptor Mortis aiming over at the survivors from the Tactical Squad. The Lernian Terminators changed their mind, now moving forwards towards the bunker and the Rapiers. And we're going to go around this way of the table now. The Melter Gun Squad has moved back into airy terrain to give themselves a cover save. The Tactical Marines have moved closer towards the damaged Rhino, whilst the Scorpius has stayed still, ready in its launchers. Alpha Legion, turn 2 shooting phase. The Saboteur, as he emerged, rolled for damage, stripped 1 hull point off of the Dreadnought, then opened fire with his combi melter, took another hit point off and shook it. The Contemptor opened fire over the Tactical Squad, killing 4 of them, whilst the other Tactical Marines are still busy reloading. The Scorpius opened fire down at the Tactical Marines here, which have been forced to evacuate their wrecked Rhino, which was shot by the melter guns. And one of the shots scattered, which was weapon destroyed on the Demolisher Cannon, unfortunately, and also left it shaken with 1 hull point left. And as you can see, hollowed out the rest of the Tactical Marines. Alpha Legion turned to assault phase. The Tactical Squad can't draw a line of fire because of the solid terrain here to the surviving members of my Iron Warriors Tactical Squad, whilst the Centurion, lurking behind the corner there, he attempted to charge, got a bolt gun and a crack grenade to the face, passed both of his saves, but then didn't make the distance. Iron Warriors, turn 3 movement phase. The Contemptor Dreadnought, wondering what the heck is picking away at his back, turns around face down against the Saboteur. And the 2 surviving Tactical Marine members, well, what else were they going to do, honestly? The Havoc unit is none the wiser. The Rapiers aiming at the Terminators that seem to have got their ire, whilst the Spartan has vomited forth a sheet of iron armour, with the big Tactical Squad and the Warsmith stepping out to face off against all comers. Iron Warriors turn 5 shooting phase. The Dreadnought held fire, eager to charge at the Saboteur. The 2 Marines chose to run, trying to block line of fire with the building that the tactical marines are occupying. The Havocs open fire at the Contemptor, finishing it off. Whilst all the marines over here, the unit of Mark IV marines open fire at the tactical marines in the building. 34 shots, only caused 4 wounds and felled 1 marine. Whilst the Mark III marines did much better with only 5 of them, killing 2 of the tactical support marines. Iron Warriors turn 3 assault phase, and thanks to the Hammer of Olympia right of war, my marines, if they've rapid fired with their weapons, can still do a charge, but it's got to be disorganised. So, the Mark IV marines charged in against the tactical support squad, and the Centurion and the Rhino. My Praetor killed the Centurion with his Thunderhammer, instant killing him, but that caused no wounds, bizarrely, with all these marines, on the 2 tactical marines. But seeing that their Centurion was smashed asunder, they chose to flee and got run down in the ensuing melee. Whilst the Mark III tactical marines over here charged in, killed 1 of the Alpha Legionnaires, took no casualties in return, but they held their nerve and go on into the next turn. Alpha Legion turn 3 movement phase, and the tactical welcoming committee there has shuffled forward to see their Iron Warrior cousins coming ever closer. The Saboteur, his duty done, eyes up his next target, which is the bunker. The Dark Furies leap majestically into the cathedral, apart from the Sergeant, who bounced off the window and shattered his own armour. The Lernian Terminators, attempting to form some kind of strategic ladder to get onto the Sky Shield, fail miserably, only moving 1 inch. Whilst the Rhino backs away from the crowd of Iron Warriors, freeing up the Scorpius to shoot. Alpha Legion turn 3 shooting phase, and the Scorpius dropped 3 shells into the middle of the Iron Warriors, killing 6 of them. The Dark Furies threw a grenade at the nearest rapier unit, did no damage. And non-surprisingly, the Alpha Legion tactical marines in the building wiped out the final 2 tactical Iron Warriors. Alpha Legion turn 3 assault phase. The Dark Furies navigate through the destroyed cathedral, eliminating 1 of the rapier units and heading towards the second. Whilst over here, 5-man tactical Mark III unit killed 1 of the Alpha Legion to no casualties in return and forced them to retreat, not able to catch them up. Iron Warriors turn 4 movement phase, and it's a bit barren on the left flank here. Whilst the Rapiers have just turned to target the Dark Furies, the tactical squad with the Warsmith fell back and embarked on the Spartan, which is turned on the spot, again targeting the Furies here. Whilst the 5-man Mark III unit goes to try and corral the Alpha Legion. Iron Warriors turn 4 shooting phase, and the Iron Havocs, no more armoured targets on this side of the board, open fire with their deadly aim into the building, felling 5 of the tactical marines there. They passed their leadership check. The Rapier, both of those, open fire at the Dark Furies, who passed their cover saves, but not so lucky against the Spartan, felling 1 of their members, but again passed their morale check. Whilst over in the corner, the Mark III Marines continued their escorting duty, opened fire with a hail of bolt gun shells, 2 failed saves and a failed morale check later, and the Alpha Legion are running further towards the board edge. Alpha Legion turn 4 movement phase. The tactical marines have rallied, moving closer through the ruins to put the pressure on the 5 Mark III marines there. The Rhino also lining up with its combi bolter. The Lernian Terminators finally climb onto the Sky Shield pad, heading towards Objective 1. The Dark Furies eye up their next prey, which is another Rapier, whilst the jet bike unit finally makes its way onto the board to support the Saboteur in their quest to pop the bunker. And the other tactical squad just hunkers down on the objective in the corner. Alpha Legion turn 4 shooting phase. The multi-melter on the Sky Hunter jet bike opened fire at the rear of the bunker but failed to penetrate. Dark Furies threw a grenade trying to soften up the rapiers but caused no wounds, whilst the 5-men tactical squad here took 2 casualties from the Scorpius and survived everything else firing at them. Alpha Legion turn 4 assault phase. The Dark Furies, non-surprisingly, mopped up the 2nd Rapier crew. Iron Warriors turn 5 movement phase. The Spartan trundles along 6 inches. Once again, vomits forth its wall of iron, led by the Warsmith at the front there, to try and head off the threat caused by the Furies. Whilst the 3 remaining Mark III Marines spread out a little bit, try and trade fire with the Alpha Legionnaires that are just in the ruins there, whilst the Iron Havocs, just ignoring everything around them, carrying on like it's a normal day at the shooting gallery. Iron Warriors turn 5 shooting phase. The Iron Havocs in the bunker opened fire at the Marines in cover there, felling 4 of their number there, who passed their morale check and hold firm. And the tactical Marines here, led by the Warsmith, opened fire on the Dark Furies, wiping them out, whilst the 3 surviving Mark III Marines trade fire with their cousins, felling 1. Turn 5, Alpha Legion movement phase. The Sky Hunters hold their ground, aiming at the bunker here, supporting the Saboteur as he makes his attack run with his melter bomb. The Lernian Terminator squad there go towards Objective 1 to hold it, whilst the Rhino and the Tactical Marines move forward to try and finish off the 3 Tactical Marines opposite them. And the Scorpius, well, ready for open fire whatever it wants. Alpha Legion turn 5 shooting phase, and the multi-melter on the Sky Hunters here shot straight into the rear of the bunker. Must have hit the ammo store because up it went in an explosion. 6 of the Havocs got out, 2 died in the rubble. The Terminators opened fire with their Volkite charges down into the tactical squad, exploding 2 in plasma rain there, whilst the Scorpius opened fire on the 3 tactical Marines, obliterating the Sergeant. Alpha Legion turn 5 assault phase. The jet bikes and the Saboteur charge into combat against the surviving Iron Havocs, slaying 2, taking no casualties in return, but the Iron Havocs pass their leadership check, hold their ground. Iron Warriors turn 6 movement phase. The Warsmith moved forward, separating from the tactical unit behind, which had moved on to Objective 4 to hold it, lining up an extreme charge there. Possible, but we'll see what happens there later. The Spartan pivots on the spot, eyeing up the Alpha Legion's tactical squad in the distance there, with the final 2 members of the Mark III unit moving forward to engage them. And the last Rapier lines up a juicy target opposite with the Rhino armoured carrier. Iron Warriors turn 6 shooting phase. Tactical Marines that are now holding Objective 4 opened fire at the Terminators, but unsurprisingly caused no damage. The Spartan opened fire along with the Tactical Marines at the other Tactical Marines opposite, felling 1 of their number, which isn't enough for a panic check. Whilst over here, the final Rapier, penetrating hit, but rolled a 4 on the dice for a total of 6 on the damage chart, only immobilised, 1 away from destroying it. Iron Warriors turn 6 assault phase. The Warsmith failed to get into combat, which unfortunately, with the assistance of the Power Fist there, meant they got 2 killed in combat. The 2 survivors fled and were cut down as they tried to make their escape. Whilst over on the other side of the table, a slightly different story. The 2 tactical Mark III Marines charged in, lost 1 of their number to the Alpha Legion attack, but felled 1 of the Alpha Legion in return, drawn combat, which has actually held them back from moving on to capture Objective 5. Alpha Legion turn 6 movement. The Sky Hunters, the Saboteur, wherever he's hidden, there he is, move forward, trying to go for a sneaky slay the Warlord, Because not only would that be 1 victory point for Slay the Warlord, but if you kill a Warsmith, that's another victory point as well. The Lernians wanting on the action as well, lining up shots through the window. Whilst over in the corner, the combat continues. Ooh, I'm going to edit this out later. Alpha Legion turn 6 shooting phase. The jet bikes opened fire at the Warsmith, forced him to go to ground, mostly because he got shot in the face with a melter gun. But that hit the church around him and saved his life. Everything else opened fire at him as well, bounced off his artificer armour. The Scorpius in the distance decided to try and get an easy victory point, dropping a shell smack bang on top here of the Vindicator, which failed to go through the armour. So that's clinging on to life there. Alpha Legion turn 6 assault phase. The jet bikes accepted the challenge, tried to charge in, but only rolled a 5 for the distance there. I don't know who that was more beneficial for though. Whilst over here, absolute stalemate. The single Marine fended off all 3 of the Alpha Legionnaires, keeping alive, drawn combat over there. That is the end of the game. So currently, if we look over what's doing what, I hold objective 4, that's fitting, 4th Legion holding number 4. Alpha Legion holding objective number 1. And which number is that?
3.
Number 3 in the corner there. So we'll roll for those in a moment. We are just going to go work out what's died. We'll do that in a jiffy. See you over at the scoring. Here we are then, chaps. End of the game. We have Surviving Iron Warriors holding objective 4. 1 tactical squad. The Warsmith there at the front. A single Marine from the other tactical squad. 1 of the Rapiers, the Spartan, and the Vindicator, which hung in on one hull point at the end there. However, I've lost 1 unit, 2, 3, 4, 5, and because I was silly and took them individually, 6, 7, plus the bunker. So that gives Carl a current score of 8 victory points. Carl had remaining the Rhino, Scorpius, 3 members from 1 tactical squad, 5 from the other, all the jet bikes, the Lernian Terminators, and the Consul there, and lost 1 unit, 2 units, 3 plus Slay the Warlord, so that's 4, 5, 6. So currently 8-6. Okay, so now we're going to roll for our objectives because of War of Lies. They're actually worth a varying amount of victory points. So we're going to roll for Coles first. He's got 2. So rolling for objective 1, we're going to roll on the table. I'll read out what we get. Number 4, that is worth 2 victory points. So Carl is currently on 10 victory points. And now rolling for number 3. 6. That is unfortunately minus D3 victory points. It puts me back in the run-in. So what we'll do is we won't roll that just yet. We'll roll to see how I do and then reduce the score in a moment. So my objective 4 is worth, no pressure, but I need a 5. Damn! No victory points. So that puts me on 6. Go on, Carl, roll to see what your minus was worth. So minus D3, minus 3. So, if memory serves, it was 8-6 plus 2, 10-6, minus 3, 7-6. So thank you all for watching today. Really close game, really enjoyable. Hope you all enjoyed it too. I think man of the match, I would say it's not even on my side, but probably that Scorpius. I think I need to go back, rethink my life. Iron Warriors without artillery doesn't really work for me. So stay tuned for more artillery, hopefully. See you later. Bye.